You should not move to Africa if you expect to feel welcomed. You see, I had the exact same skin tone as a lady. Nobody around the world can mistake me for anything other than a black man. In particular, those who come with a pan-Africanist mindset. Because you're coming over here thinking we are one, we are brothers, we are the same. I'm here to uplift, I'm here to help, I'm here to build. Right? These are words that are very common in the Pan-African community. And then when you get to Africa, you realize you're looked at as an Mzungu, right? A white person. And it's so disheartening because you're being overcharged, you're being scammed, you're being looked at as an opportunity, right? You're being left out of certain conversations that you might have wanted to be involved in. A lot of this honestly can be avoided though if you just know the real, honest, raw truth about moving to the continent of Africa. So recently I met a black American woman who's been living here in Uganda, and she owns some land here and has been hiring locals to help, develop it and build it. She's paying them more than they would earn if they work for other people in the area. She is paying them on time, which is super, super rare here in Uganda. And then number three, she hires like local women in the area to cook for the employees so they can eat while they're working. The workers keep stealing from her. They take the tools that she buys and they go to town and sell them. She buys 10 bags of concrete, but somehow only 6 of them end up on a work site. So now she has to watch everyone like a hawk. This brings me on to reason number one, why many black Americans leave Africa is, well, they feel like they're at a constant disadvantage. Most Africans that I've met believe that black Americans are results of white people and African people breeding together. And Mzungu means like white man. They believe it's perfectly acceptable to lie to the Mzungu, to steal from the Mzungu, to mistreat the Mzungu. And the logic they use to justify this or to make it okay is, well, you have money and I don't. And you see, being an American means you earn dollars, and earning dollars means in eyes of locals, you are rich.
Now, this is more of an indictment of Africa and why it can't develop or modernize despite trillions of dollars in foreign aid being spent over the years. The governments are extremely corrupt, which leads to a massive distrust in the institutions. And because there is no expectation that you'll get ahead and improve your life by doing things the right way, the people adopt a mindset of short-term thinking, where people will lie, cheat, beg, borrow, and steal for short-term benefit at the expense of long-term prosperity. When Americans who want to move to Africa and bring their money and invest in the country and build a house and establish roots get cheated and robbed at every turn by the locals, it scares away the very people Africa needs to help build up its society. They're only interested in getting as much as they possibly can today, even if it means they'll be worse off for it tomorrow. And because everybody is constantly trying to take advantage of one another on a daily basis, it creates an extremely low trust society. There's very little solidarity or collective unity in individual African countries amongst people who share the same language, the same culture, and the same history. So what makes you think they're going to extend an olive branch to people 5,000 miles away on a different continent just because they share the same skin color? And this particular guy is living in Uganda.
Yeah, I'd rather go back to America and deal with the racism in America before I sit here in Africa and deal with the bullshit robbery, the bullshit fraud, the bullshit scams, the bullshit too expensive, the bullshit not having no snacks, the bullshit not having no food, the bullshit electricity, the bullshit hot water, the bullshit what's that called that coming down? The bullshit animals, the scorpions outside the house, it's big spiders, it's big lizards, colorful lizards you ain't never seen before, all in the room with you, sleeping with you, all the people trying to scam you when you go outside thinking you rich, so they trying to get more money off of you. I'm really trying to wrap my head around this. I'm really trying to wrap my head around how are Americans coming to Africa and being happy. Please comment down below, because for me, I'm ready to go. And I always used to say, if it's up to me, it will be, and I'm going to go out to Africa and make it happen. No, I don't want to. I want to take my businesses back to America. I want to open up shop back in America, open up my dentist office, and all the stuff that I was going to do out here in America. Steady electricity, and the only time our electricity get cut off is when we don't pay the bill. And we got it so good now, we got prepaid electricity, so if we forget to pay the bill, we put some money on that prepaid thing, and it comes right back on in 2 minutes. In less than 2 minutes. This right here didn't come on for 14 hours yesterday. I can't deal. I love the people. Don't get me wrong. When I'm outside, I'm having fun. I love people. But when I come back to reality, when you come back home, Home is where the heart is, right? When you come back home, you're supposed to feel comfortable, you're supposed to be happy. I'm not happy. To live in a house where you look outside and all you see is turkeys and ducks and chickens and sheep and old malnourished cows.
There are Americans coming over here being nasty, doing nasty things, and being bad to the locals. Now, let me flip the script, okay? Let's talk about the fact that we get abused over here, too. The thing about Ghana is stop crying victim. Stop crying victim, because y'all cheat us out of a lot of stuff. Y'all invited us to come home, which by the thousands we did. We came running to Ghana. People sold their homes, moved out of their apartments, sold everything. Some people packed up containers and moved over here just to get over here.
For some reason, are unable to fathom that Africans murder each other, genocide one another, conquer each other, oppress and subjugate one another. So the fact that you share the same skin color is frankly inconsequential. And the left has constantly told black people to reject their American identity and align more with their African identity. Those are their people, only for them to get to Africa and realize that was a giant fairy tale. A black American is no more a Nigerian than a white American is a German. And the simple fact that black Americans think they're going to move to Africa and build Wakanda is evident of their American perspective. They're thinking about long-term planning, building, investing, enterprise, while the locals view infrastructure as something to be destroyed and sold for scrap metal, and view investments such as that lady trying to build a house as an opportunity to steal tools and materials and just resell them. And in that moment, these black Americans realize they've been sold a lie, and begrudgingly, I hate to say it, realize they have more in common with white man John Smith than they do the local residents of Uganda, simply because they share the same skin color. But the final reason the guy gives why black Americans shouldn't move to Africa is the one we all expect. It's Africa.
So that brings me on to reason number 3 why many black Americans decide to leave Africa, and that is there are better options. You see, of course, I'm not going to pay $7,500 for a piece of paper that lets me stay in a country that doesn't even provide me with stable electricity. What you end up doing is you look for other options.
A black American man moves to Africa to escape white supremacy, only to experience African supremacy.
Damn, y'all taking advantage of people out on the street. Look, they all in my bag, they searching me. But they ain't gonna stop a white and a Chinese person. This dude right here, he a little rude. He a little rude right here. But this dude right here, look at him, he going crazy.
So in Africa, you can't throw the race card as a black American. Are you serious? So in Africa, you can't sue the African police because they don't have no money as a black American. So in Africa, you can't even shine awareness on the situation that you're being singled out as a black American being harassed by African police. They're not going to give no spotlight to that. And who cares if they treat the Chinese and the white people better than you as a black American in Africa? No one cares because it's Africa. It seems like you have more rights in America as a black American than as a black American in Africa.
Y'all be chewing me up about my takes and my opinions, but I'm gonna give them anyways. But you seen this one about this young lady. She's born and raised in America, but she decided to move to Africa, and she's on here complaining. She's saying that there's no snacks. She said that she was gonna open up a dentist office, and she doesn't look like a dentist. She doesn't look like she went to dental school or anything like that. So I don't know how that works. But anyway, she said she's tired of seeing malnourished cows. Oh, sorry. I thought that was funny. That was funny. And she's like, she's tired of seeing chickens and stuff like that. Well, I'm from South Florida. We have chickens in our backyard. But this is my opinion on it. It's something about, I don't like when immigrants come to America and complain about the United States. And I guess it's rubbing me the wrong way too, hearing her talk badly about Africa while she's over there. Because why didn't you do your research? Like, because even I've been researching it because I feel as if that I want to move from America and move somewhere. And I know that the electricity cuts on and off in Africa. And I've never been. I want to go and I want to visit, but I've never been. But I know that. And I know how that will affect me. So I'm thinking about these things. And I just want to know, like, what research did you do? Did you go over there and stay for an extended period of time to figure out if you actually liked staying there full time, or possibly you just needed to get like purchase something over there and then travel and stay for a couple of weeks at a time or a month at a time and then come back? It's something about you going to a different country and then down in the country that you're in that doesn't sit well with me. I can't stand it when immigrants do it to us, and I guess I don't like it the other way around either. What y'all think?
For many Black Americans, moving to Africa represents a fresh start. Some hope to reconnect with their ancestry, escape the high cost of living, or even experience a different way of life. But while many people build fulfilling lives, others discover challenges they never expected. Recently, several Black Americans shared why they ultimately regretted making the move, and their stories have sparked a major online debate. So, one American who has lived in Africa for several years explained that many newcomers arrive with high expectations but struggle once everyday life begins. He described meeting a Black American woman who invested in land and hired workers. According to her account, she said tools repeatedly disappeared, construction materials went missing, and she felt she constantly had to monitor projects. She believed she was paying employees wages and treating employees well, yet still faced repeated setbacks. She felt the biggest challenge wasn't the work itself. It was feeling that people assumed that she had unlimited money simply because she came from the United States. So another point discussed was how Americans are sometimes viewed as financially successful simply because they earn or once earned US dollars. Some Black Americans have shared experiences of being overcharged, pressured to financially support extended families, or targeted by scammers who assume they have significant wealth. Of course, these experiences vary from person to person and from country to country, but for some, constantly wondering whether people genuinely want friendship or simply want financial help becomes exhausting emotionally. For others, the biggest adjustment isn't money at all. It is adapting to an entirely different way of life. Simple things many Americans are used to, like certain foods, snacks, customer service, shopping options, or even familiar brands, may not always be available or may even cost more. So daily routines, transportation, internet reliability, healthcare systems, and government paperwork can also be very different from what many Americans expect. While some people adapt quickly, others discover they miss the conveniences they once took for granted. Jobs can also become a challenge. Unless someone already has remote work, savings, or even a business, finding employment as a foreigner may not be easy depending on local laws and the country's economy. Some people move expecting a lower cost of living, but later realize that building long-term financial stability is more difficult than expected. Others eventually decide the career opportunities available back in the United States better fits their long-term goals. At the end of the day, moving to Africa isn't automatically a dream come true or a mistake. Experiences differ based on the country, financial situation, expectations, and individual circumstances. Some Black Americans say relocating has been one of the best decisions they've ever made. Others say that the cultural adjustment, financial pressures, and lifestyle differences eventually convince them to return home. And the biggest lessons from these stories is simple. Anyone considering such a major move should research carefully, visit first if possible, and prepare for both the opportunities and the challenges, rather than just expecting life abroad to match life in the United States. What do you guys think? Have these stories changed your perspective, or do you believe every experience depends entirely on the individual? Share your thoughts in the comment section below and kindly remember to keep it respectful. And if you love breakdowns, please kindly hit the subscribe button and join our family. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.